Hello, traders and investors. Tyson Clayton, Market Trader Institute product expert and Forex mastermind here. Hey, I wanted to put together a quick video because we have an absolutely outstanding opportunity for you. And I'm getting a lot of questions from students and traders about a couple things that I want to cover, okay? One of the questions that we're getting, one of the big questions we're getting is, Tyson, listen, I spend time in the markets, I spend time looking for opportunities, but what happens is I have adult responsibilities. I'm busy taking the kids to soccer practice. I'm driving to work and these trades fire. And I come home and I see that there's been Fibonacci levels that have been hit. There's been certain trades that have set up, but I've missed the opportunities. It's happened to all of us. In fact, early on in my trading career, it happened to me all the time. And I didn't have access to the technology that you guys are going to be able to get access to. And I want to just show you this in the charts. Instead of just talking about it, let me just show you, and maybe this might resonate a little bit with you, but let's go into the charts here and show you a couple opportunities. I'm a huge fan of Fibonacci's. Everybody should know that, and everybody at Market Traders Institute should probably understand what Fibonacci's are, but let me just explain something here. This is last week's price action, and price was breaking into an uptrend. It was absolutely great, and at this point, we would want to start looking to buy. Now, that's a pretty obvious opportunity, and if you're a Fibonacci trader, what you would do then at that point is you would draw your AB boundaries, and you would look to start trading at those retracement points. But the problem with this trade, if we look, the retracement never really happened until the next week, the following week. So what if you were sleeping when this trade happened? What if you're in commute to work when this trade happens? Well, this happens all the time. In fact, I get emails at least a few times a week from traders saying, hey, Tyson, I love the setup. Problem is I missed the trade. And that's an issue because we spend our time analyzing the markets. We spend our time doing the best we possibly can to put a plan together, only to watch the trades work out, but then us not take advantage of them. In fact, a quick story. I remember early on in my career, me telling my wife how good of a trader I am, and she's like, okay, Tyson, well, if you're such a good trader, show me the money. Show me the money that's in the account if you actually are a great trader. And I was like, well, I missed the trade. I knew it was going to happen, but I missed the trade. And so what we need to do is we need to help you guys get over the point of missing those trades. And until now, you really didn't have a tool to be able to do that. But now we do. It's called Power Fibonacci's. It's an absolute phenomenal tool. You guys know what the Smart Fibonacci tool is. Well, look at the Smart tool and take Power Fibonacci's, and it's a way to automate those Fibonacci levels. Let me show you an example. If I could see last week, rolling into this week, we were in this upward AB. We broke above this high right here. So we're putting in higher highs, which means the market's probably going to go higher. All right. And if I knew that rolling into this week, I would be looking to buy at those Fibonacci levels. Now the problem, as I've already mentioned, is if I'm not in front of my screens, if I don't have the right setups, if I'm kind of maybe afraid of which retracement's going to come in, I might have missed that move. And if I miss that move, you can see that what happened here is we moved up in this ABCD wave-like format here. And you might look all the way up. A lot of this was done, a lot of these wave movements, and the movement happened during a lot of times that people would be at work or off with their kids, and you're missing these opportunities. Now let me show you, Powerfib students, what you would have done, Powerfib traders, and those that have the tool, here's what you would have done. I've made this chart, and this is an example of what you could have done this week with this exact same setup. So what we have here is the exact same chart, euro dollar, breaks into an uptrend late last week. We then have this AB sequence formed. Price doesn't quite retrace down, and maybe it tags this 2.7. But even if you would have waited until the following week to start getting in. So this is this week. Imagine this. You set your Powerfibs up with one click of the button. I'll show you this in a second. With one click of the button, you then start to automatically, you're not in front of your computer screens, you're not having to do this live, you're automatically entered into these trades with the strategy doing it for you. Gets you into this level, rides up, gets you out at that extension. Now, if we get a deeper retracement, it's automatically going to manage the trade for you. This trade right here would have made 60 pips. Now, a question I get all the time from students is, well, after that makes 60 pips, and this is actually one of the issues a lot of students go through is, after I make the 60 pips, well, then I've got to be in front of my screens to reset my fibs, to reset my orders and all that. Well, you don't have to do that. With the Powerfibs, the beautiful thing about it is it's smart enough to follow along with the Fibonacci retracements, with the Fibonacci extensions. When it hits those certain extensions, it's automatically going to plot the AB sequence and enter those orders based on the retracement. Let me show you an example here. So in this trade, if we went up, hit the 60 pip target, that's $600 on a standard lot while you're probably working, taking your kids to soccer practice, whatever it might be. And then the system automatically plots the new AB boundary for you, automatically. as the price comes down, it will automatically get you in and get you out at the corresponding extension. And if I set this up in a way to automatically plot this, as long as this upward AB sequence remains intact, then I'm going to continue to do what I call harvesting income all the way up. And this is an example for this week. For traders that had power Fibonacci's, and we have an amazing opportunity today for you to get this, but traders that took advantage of this opportunity were able to make 60 pips on this trade, 55 pips on this trade. We got to 2 retracement levels here. So that was an overall 115 pips there. Overall, 213 pips. And here's the beautiful thing about this. The best part about this entire thing, students and traders, is this was all done with one click of the button. One click, I set this up. I can let this trade in my live account, and while I'm taking the kids to soccer practice, while I'm working, while I'm sitting in traffic, all of that stuff, while I'm living my life and having my adult responsibilities, I'm allowing the markets, the Fibonacci's, I know the way the market moves. I'm allowing the markets to wave and make money without me having to be in front of my computer screens. This has solved the time issue. I don't have to be glued to my screens. This helps me capture more pips during those times that I would be normally off doing something else. I'm able to make money. I get an alert on my phone. When I get an alert on my phone, I get excited because I know something's happened. I know a level's been hit. I know that I'm more than likely making money because I put the odds in my favor. I'm going to show you one more example here. That was an example in the euro dollar. This happens every single week. This happens often in many time frames, but this is an example of the euro Aussie. We were in this uptrend. The uptrend would have been signaled. If you're using kind of trend 101 analysis, is when we started to break above this high, we started putting in that higher high point. And once we started breaking into that higher high, kind of mid last week, we would have started plotting this upward AB sequence. But again, the issue is if you weren't in front of your screens at this entire time, you missed these trades. But the Powerfib student clicked the button, set this up with the automation, was able to trade here, make 60 pips. Have the system automatically plot the new AB for you, trade here, 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 and here. And here's the beautiful thing. If we would have gotten a deeper retracement, it would have managed this for you. But it didn't, so it didn't get a deeper retracement, so your target would have been the 1618 extension. Automatically get you out, automatically get you back into the retracements. So the Euro Aussie example here, we're talking 530 pips. So if we do the math between the Euro Aussie, 530 pips, and we do the math on the Euro dollar, 230 pips, we're talking 760 pips worth of opportunity that if it weren't for the Powerfibs tool, I'd miss 90% of those trades. I would want to take them. They meet my requirements. They look great. If I'm in front of the charts, I'm going to take those trades. But the problem is I can't be in front of the charts all the time. I'm sleeping sometimes. I'm traveling sometimes. I'm doing other things, and so are you. And that's one of the big issues that I hear students talk about. It's one of the reasons why I want you to take advantage of this. Now, one thing I want to say is we've got to get to a point of we hear other people experiencing success. We hear other people making money. And we've got to get to a point of saying, what are they doing to make that money? A lot of those students and traders are setting these trades up to automatically trigger at levels they'd be trading at anyway. The thing that this does, the last thing that I'd like to say, the best thing that I think this does, is it allows me to eliminate my emotions. This business can be a roller coaster of emotions. We can experience great highs and sometimes some lows. But what I want to do is I want to set a trade up based on a plan. And if I know the trend and I can set my Powerfibs up and I know that it's going to track that and harvest that income all the way up, I no longer have to be fearful of what I'm going to miss. I'm going to let the strategy do it for me. And I want you to let the strategy do it for you too. So you got to take advantage of this opportunity. Now I want you to imagine. Put yourself in my shoes when this happens to me. Imagine being in your car, getting an alert on your phone saying that you're in a trade. You're at your kid's soccer game and you get an alert saying you're in a trade. Imagine if you were in one of those trades that we took this last week, one of the Euro Aussie or Euro dollar trades. What if you made an extra 100 pips? Or like the last week and a half in those two trading opportunities, we made 760 pips. What if that happened 1 or 2 times a month? How would that change your current situation? Probably pretty substantial. That's $7,000 of extra income that a lot of students are missing. Stop missing those opportunities and start profiting. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. You can use one of these links on this page, and I'll see you in the trading rooms.